yeah, I mean, I think it's a strange season thus far, not just in not just in the Big 12 or not just for Oklahoma, but nationally, there's been more ranked teams lose than that's happened in almost 80 years. So um, Alabama, Georgia, to me, look very clearly like the best two teams in the country, and I don't think it's necessarily close as well. So yeah, I think there's a sizable gap between Alabama and Georgia, and then the rest of the country right now. I mean, I think Iowa looked pretty impressive, so I think they're up there. I think this Oklahoma team has a ways to go. Not holding anything back. This team, I think, coming into the year, I think a lot of people thought Oklahoma was probably better than Georgia. Had an opportunity to be better than Georgia. Had an opportunity to be better than Alabama. And quite frankly, it's not even close. It's not even close from a talent perspective. It's not even close from a productivity perspective. I know that's not what we want to hear, what we want to talk about, um, here. But it's the fact of the matter is Oklahoma is not quite as good, I think, as we thought they would be coming into this season. For whatever reason, I'm not sure exactly, what's not clicking or what it is, but just the inability for things to click on both sides of the ball at the same time. It's just not happening. Now they can get there. One of the things I think I've told you guys before. I'm a high school basketball coach here in the Tulsa area in Oklahoma. One of the great things that I love about coaching, one of the great things I love about sports is watching kids mature, both from a mental perspective and from a physical, spiritual perspective as well. But really just seeing kids mature and get better and grow. And so that's what's going to happen with this team. We saw the difference from last week to this week on the offensive line. I don't know if the offensive line could have blocked the junior high defensive line last week, but they played well for the most part. So you'd like to see that. Hopefully, they can put the same team or both sides of the ball together at the same time. So welcome your comments about anything that we've talked about whatsoever, and we'll go through those, and we'll keep you guys updated on some scores and stuff like that you're interested in. So. Biggie, thanks for coming in. Offense looked much better. Agree. Definitely agree. I thought, Rattler looked a lot better. Like there was a couple of throws, but you go 22 out of 25, nearly 300 yards, a couple of touchdowns. You don't have a lot to complain about. I feel like just a couple of inaccurate passes, and then he still laid on a few passes. So um, nothing like that. I think Kennedy Brooks seems to have really, to me, almost separated himself as who needs to get the bulk of the carries. Now, Eric Gray's great. I think Eric Gray's more of a third down back. I think Eric Gray is more electric and exciting out of the backfield. Getting him in space, I think, is really good. But I think I would, if I was Riley, maybe 70% of the carries go to Kennedy Brooks at this point, unless Gray is just extremely hot and there's a game where Kennedy Brooks isn't as hot. But I think that, and then your receivers played well again today, all across the board. So yeah, much better job. Mr. John, they need to replace Tyrese Robin. I'm surprised that he was a guy that was actually going to go back into the game after that penalty. I know that Eric Swinson was in the game at towards the end of the game for that the final kneel down. But I think it will be interesting going. I thought I would have assumed there would have been different starters for this game. I was a little surprised that that Beatonbow went with the same starting five offensive line. I don't think. I think they'll roll. I think right now, the way they're feeling, they're going to roll with these five guys the rest of the year from a starting perspective. Now, if one person's really, really struggling, then they may get to a point where they have a little bit more of a quick trigger. But I think I think we're at this point where um, that's who they'll go with. Having said that, Mr. John, I think Tyrese is a guy that I would have probably pulled out pretty quickly at some point today. He had four, I believe he had four penalties. Um, I think he had three false starts in that personal foul, either three or four penalties. Um, so yeah, no, you're absolutely right. I would have probably pulled him out.